Hey guys, I got a new video for you today, and we're going to be looking at a new set that I recently picked up and I was super excited for. This is set number 10323, and it's the Lego Icons Pac-Man set. Now, I was really excited for this guy for a couple reasons. First thing is because it's super nostalgic. I remember playing Pac-Man on an arcade machine similar to this, obviously a full-size one, not a desktop one like the one this one is made to resemble, but also because I have the Super Nintendo and then the Atari Lego sets as well, so I thought this was a great addition to that kind of mini collection of all those sets included. This set comes in at 2,651 pieces, so it is a larger set. And it also has batteries because there's certain things that do light up and stuff like that. So as you can see at the bottom of the box there, it says batteries included. Again, this is the Lego Icons collection. Really, really awesome set. So this is an 18 plus set, and this box is very big, as you guys can see right there. So again, I think it's awesome that Lego is doing these kind of retro gaming machines and stuff like that, because the nostalgia factor that goes along with these are really, really cool. Now let me go ahead and spin the box here. On the side, you just have a layout of the actual game screen like you would have found it in the arcade machines back in the day. And then in the back, you get a little bit more of a closer look on the set itself. So here on the right, you can see that this is the full built set. The really cool thing about this is also that there's a crank on the side of the machine there, and the Pac-Man and the Ghost and the fruit and stuff like that actually move. So I'm really excited to see how they do that. You do have a couple other builds. The first one is the one right up here, which is the Pac-Man running away from the two ghosts, and then that actually can go either on top of it or you can set it off to the side. And on the bottom here, you have another Lego build, or alternate build, I should say, which is this person actually playing the Lego, oh, not the Lego, the Pac-Man game, kind of simulating her playing it at an arcade. So that is really, really cool. Then you got a couple other closer looks at the other things that do make up the set. So again, here is the build, the alternate build that I mentioned that was on top of there, and it's really cool because you can actually rotate it, and it rotates to show either the ghost in the regular colors where they're chasing Pac-Man, or if Pac-Man turns around and is starting to chase the ghost, they're blue on the other side. So they went all out in this set. You can actually have your high score, displayed up here, and you can rotate that to change the scores also. And then the back of the machine actually opens up and it shows you kind of like the intricate workings of the machine, which is really, really awesome. And then you do have a little section down here, which is where that light up brick will go, which lights up the little coin slot where you would normally put your 25 cents or your quarter in order to play the game, the actual game. So here is a representation of the height, or the dimensions, I should say. So you're looking at 32 centimeters, which is 12.5 inches tall, and then 25 centimeters, which is 10 inches wide, and that's including the little crank on the side. So again, it's a fairly decent size for what you're getting. So I think this is a really, really awesome set, especially if you are into video games. If you've collected the other ones, the Super Nintendo and the Atari one, you definitely need to go ahead and add this one to the collection. So let me go ahead and open up the box and see what all is inside. All right, so here is everything out of the box. You have a total of 14 bags. But as I mentioned in previous videos, a lot of the bags do have 2 or 3 bags that go with each number. So my technique when I build my sets is I separate them into stacks of 5. So 1 through 5, 6 through 10, and then 11 through 14. The reason that I do that is it allows me to keep track of all the bags, but it also gives me a kind of built-in rest point or stopping point, so I know when I get to the end of that stack, I'm going to go ahead and take a break, because if not, I would probably just go through and build it the whole, the whole time. So I like to take small little breaks here and there. You also have a sticker sheet here, really nice quality stickers, nice and vibrant, which is really, really awesome. And then you have a couple of extra pieces that just come in these separate bags. They're not numbered or anything like that, but the instructions do tell you where you're going to go ahead and use them. And then these 2 plates right here, which are really cool. I don't know if I've built anything with these type of plates before or pieces before, so that's always cool. And then obviously you have your very, very thick, as would be expected, instruction manual here. I am really happy to see that they did add information regarding like the set and the game and all that stuff, a little background and whatnot, and then just a closer look at the actual arcade machine, and then just a look at the actual Lego set and then designer and stuff like that. So I really like when Lego goes ahead and does that and adds those cool facts and figures and stuff like that. And then obviously you just kind of start your build here. So I'm going to go ahead and start building this. I might stop halfway through if I find something interesting that I wanted to go ahead and showcase for you guys. Especially because I'm thinking that there might be some really cool building techniques in this set, especially to make it move and light up and all that stuff. So if I come across something cool, I'll kind of stop the build, turn on the camera, show it to you guys. If not, we'll go ahead and see the finished product at the end. Alright, so as I mentioned earlier, I wanted to come in here and show you a step here. I actually just finished bags number 7. There was 3 bags for number 7. This is actually the mechanism that makes the little figures, so you see the Pac-Man here and some of the ghosts move around. This is very important that you follow the instructions as detailed as possible, because this is the mechanism that's going to make it move, and it's going to make it look like they're actually the ghosts are following Pac-Man, and there's another one down here. But there's a lot of little tiny pieces, these little chain link. You have to basically put them together, each one individually. So it is a little tedious, but again, the outcome and once you see it moving and stuff like that is definitely going to be worth it. So I just wanted to go ahead and show you guys that, because I figured this is one of those steps where it seems a little tedious because you have the gears and you have the links and all that stuff, and you got to make it go all around here. So just make sure that you pay close attention to the instructions where everything goes, because it's going to have to be in the right spot in order for it to work correctly. All right, so let me get back to the build. All right, so we are all finished, and here it is, the finished product. I think it looks really, really awesome. Obviously, very iconic looking. You see this sitting on a shelf, you know exactly what it is. Whether you've played the game or not, you've obviously heard of Pac-Man, and you know that this is a Pac-Man machine. So there's a lot of stuff that I want to cover, so let me go ahead and get to it. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the minifigure, and here it is. So this is an exclusive minifigure to the set, which is really awesome. I think they knocked it out of the park with this minifigure. She looks really, really cool. She's got your kind of old school Letterman jacket. So obviously you have, if you remember those jackets, it was, the sleeves were white. So that's how they made it do. And then, the actual jacket part was a different color. She's got a little Pac-Man pin. And then even her t-shirt, she has the pink ghost in her t-shirt. Oh, there it goes. Even her t-shirt, she's got the pink ghost in her t-shirt. I like that they went with the lighter colored legs to kind of symbolize like jeans. And then she even has, I don't know if you guys can make it out, she even has a coin in her hand that says 5. So it's 5 cents that she's going to use to go ahead and play the machine. So let's go ahead and take a look at the set itself now. Alright, so taking a look at the set now, again, it looks really, really, really awesome. Starting from the top, you have this kind of alternate build that sits on the top of the cabinet here, but you can actually take it off if you want to. What's really cool is that the way that they designed this is there's actually a spot right in there, so you don't have to worry about this tipping over and this falling off or anything like that. The build here, really, really cool. Obviously, it's got these tiles, these printed tiles that kind of symbolize a little maze that Pac-Man kind of goes through, and it's got Pac-Man and then the 4 different ghosts that are following him, and then you can see right up here the 4 ghosts are following Pac-Man, but you do have a built-in mechanism. If you guys can see right here, there's like a little plunger there, and if you press that, it actually rotates, and now Pac-Man is following the ghosts, which are now in their blue format, which means that Pac-Man ate a power pill and it is following them. So that is really, really cool. And again, all you have to do is just kind of press in on that right there, and it actuates that. Really, really awesome. So this mechanism actually had a pretty interesting building technique where you built a basically like a channel for the mechanism to go in, and then as you got to a couple steps further in, you actually remove that and then reuse those pieces later on in the build. So I never had a build like that before, so that was really cool. And then again, you just kind of sit this into the little grooves right at the top there, and it isn't going anywhere. All right, taking a look at the sets. There's a lot to cover with this guy. So obviously, as you guys can see, it is rather large, which is nice. Obviously, you know, for display purposes, you want to make sure that you're able to, you know, to see it, and it displays really well, and it definitely displays very well. There's a mixture of printed pieces and stickers, so you just got to be very careful when you're putting the stickers on there because you want it to look as nice as possible. So again, this right here is 3 printed pieces. There is a visible gap in between each one of those. I just almost wish that you know, they would be able to get it a little bit closer together just so it looks nicer. But again, you know, it is what it is. You just kind of deal with it. You know, from far away you can see it looks fine. It's just when you get up close is where you can actually see the slight gap in between each one of those. So right underneath here, I know it's a little difficult to see. There it is. You have your score. So there's a little window right there, and it showcases your score. So player 1, you know, the score, and then you have your high score right there as well. You have this little wheel here that you can actually turn, and it changes the score. I don't know if you guys can see right here. This is changing the score, and I know it's kind of difficult to see, but you know, you can set it to a couple different amounts. There's like 4 different amounts that you can set that to. So that is really cool. So moving down, obviously, you know, the main attraction of the set here is the maze that Pac-Man kind of goes through, and I think they did a good representation of the pellets. Obviously the regular pellets that he normally eats, and then the larger ones are your power pellets that allows him to kind of go after the ghost and get to them. So you do have the 4 different colored ghosts right in there, and then you actually even have a cherry right there too, so that's really cool. At the bottom here you do have your lives. It's showing you that you have 2 lives left because there's 2 little Pac-Mans, and then you also have a cherry over here, which means that you've already kind of gotten one of those cherries. Moving back down here, it's nice and tiled off, so it looks really awesome. It looks just like the cabinet would in real life. You have, you know, the stickers right here. These are also stickers, so again, you just want to make sure that you put them in it correctly. And then you have your joystick here. The joystick actually moves, you know, forward, backwards, left, and right. There is no clicking noise or anything like that. I don't know why I was thinking that it would have had it, but you know, there is some resistance and enough to where you can, you know, it feels like you are moving it around. Over here, again, to go with the sticker is player 1 and player 2. So you have your 2 buttons for player 1 and player 2. And then at the bottom right here, you do have your slot. Let me move this in a little closer. You have your slot right there where you would put in your money, so 25 cents. It says insert coin to play. Now this is also where that light up brick comes into play, and it's with this back button here. When you press that, it actually lights that section right there. So really cool that they were able to include that, because again, they did a lot of thought process into this set. You know, they include a lot of different things, from the little alternate build up here that actually moves. They could have just left it like that, but it actually moves, to, you know, the joystick, to the button here to light it up and stuff like that. Really awesome. But obviously the star of the set, and well, actually before I get to that, I'll just show you the sides right here. So you have the sides right here. This piece right here, I almost wish it would have been a printed piece, but it is actually a sticker. So again, this is a large sticker here, so you just got to make sure that you're very careful when you're putting that together. Make sure that you line it up and it looks really nice. And then you have a similar one on this side, but then you also have the crank mechanism here. And let me see if I can come around the camera this way to show you guys how that looks. Again, once you have it all together, use that crank right here, and as you start cranking, you can see Pac-Man kind of moving around and the ghost following him and stuff like that. Really cool. Even to the point where the little one here in the middle, the little ghost, is actually moving back and forth, left to right. And then the cherries are moving also. So that is really cool. Now, one thing I do want to mention is you just got to be careful when you're building this. I know I showed you guys earlier when I was building this particular section that you have that kind of railing system. Mine actually came loose once I already had everything built in there, and I just had to kind of take some of the pieces out to put it back together. So, you just want to be very careful when you're doing this mechanism that you're not doing it too fast or too hard or anything like that, because again, you don't want it to come loose, and then you have to, fix it by pulling off some of the pieces. Now, one last thing I do want to show you guys is the back right here, because again, they could have just, made it just blank, like not blank, but just the back to it. But they went a step further. There's a little section right here where you can actually hold on to, and when you pull that, the whole back piece right here comes loose, and it actually shows you the workings of the mechanism in the back there. That looks really, really cool. Now, if you've ever seen the back of a arcade machine cabinet, it looks pretty similar to this, and the fact that they were able to include that is really awesome. And one last kind of little Easter egg is you have a second alternate build right in here, and let me move this to the side so you guys can see it. This is actually the little Lego minifigure there, and she is getting ready to play her own mini-size arcade Pac-Man arcade game. That is really, really cool. As you can see, you have the sticker elements that show you the screen, the side of the cabinet and everything. You have a little gumball machine right there, a little stool, and then not exactly sure what this is. I don't know if it's a trash can or something like that, this blue one in the back here, but it just looks really, really cool. I think they did a really, really awesome job including this little alternate build in there as well. Alright, so my last thoughts are, if you are on the fence about picking this setup, definitely pick it up. I love it. I think it looks great. I think it's going to display very, very nicely next to the Super Nintendo and the Atari. I love the nostalgia form factor. I like the fact that they included all the little, inner workings and the lights, and the actual set actually moves and stuff like that. The little alternate build here with the little arcade machine, and then her going in there to play it, I think looks really, really cool. The Pac-Man up here being followed by the ghost, and then you're able to turn it around and follow them. Looks really cool. You can actually display this little one next to it, or as you saw already, you can actually house it inside. I think this is a great display piece. If you're into Legos, definitely pick it up. If you're into video games, definitely pick it up. And then if you're into Pac-Man and retro and stuff like that, pick it up. Go ahead, pick it up, build it for yourself, and I think you'll really enjoy the different build techniques that they put into this guy, and I think it's going to look really awesome as a display piece. So there it is. That was a look at set number 10323, the Pac-Man arcade game. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Thanks.